Every year, the Ian Allen Publishing Company produces a book entitled Railways Restored. The book is considered to be the definitive guide to preserved and restored railways and museums throughout the United Kingdom. In this series of video programs, we take you, the viewer, on a visit to one part of the UK for a closer look at those railways and museums. If we consider this map split up into 9 different parts, it simplifies matters for area grouping. In our first of 3 visits to the south of England, we shall be travelling to the eastern counties of Kent and Sussex. 5 centres of major railway interest can be found in this area at New Romney, Tenterden, Isfield, Sittingbourne and Sheffield Park. Our travels around the area begin in New Romney on the south coast of Kent. Running from Hythe to Dungeness, a total of 13.5 miles in length, the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch Railway is the world's only miniature main line. An impressive stock list of 11 steam and 2 diesel locomotives, all running on the 15-inch gauge line, begin their day's work here at the main depot in Romney. These elegant miniature locomotives, built in 1925 to a design by the model engineer Henry Greenley, constructed to 1/3 standard gauge size, were based on the Flying Scotsman type locomotives then in service with the London and North Eastern Railways. Weighing 8 tons in working order, these powerful locomotives are capable of hauling 17 coach trains, seating up to 350 passengers. Green Goddess, Southern Maid, Typhoon and Dr. Sin are the 4 locomotives seen in service today. On any main line, no matter what the running gauge, refreshments are an essential ingredient in passenger comfort. To this end, Gladys, the railway's Pullman observation coach, is without doubt the most ambitious passenger vehicle ever built for the 15-inch gauge. At just over 32 feet in length, it's certainly the longest. The morning's preparations continue as passengers begin to arrive. All the locomotives are turned to run chimney first, which is both practical and pleasing to watch. Each locomotive burns on average 500 to 600 weight of coal per day. In a quiet corner of the station area stands a memorial to the line's founder, Captain John Edwards Presgrave Howie, who loved fast cars and miniature steam locomotives. The railway runs every day from Easter until the end of September, providing a wide and varied timetable, with special events such as steam galas dotted throughout the season. The station at New Romney provides for visitors' needs with a well-stocked shop, buffet and a toy and model museum. To provide a complete picture of the line, its rolling stock and stations would require more time than this programme allows. So what follows is a look at 3 of the steam locomotives in action at various points on the line, providing an overview of the railway for the visitor. The first locomotive to depart from New Romney, bound for Hythe, is number 3, Southern Maid. 3 is a 462 Pacific-type locomotive built in 1927 by Davy Paxman. Today, it's resplendent in the Southeastern and Chatham green livery. Across the flat, straight sections of line that characterise the run from New Romney to Hythe, the locomotives, built to run safely at speeds of up to 25 miles per hour, bustle their heavy loads confidently along. Number 10, Dr. Sin, seen here arriving at Hythe Station, is a replica of a North American Pacific locomotive. Hythe Station, the only terminus on the line, has an overall roof and 3 platform faces. Running around its train, Dr. Sin goes onto the railway's second turntable to be turned for its return journey. Unlike the electrically operated turntable at New Romney, this is still manually operated. Number 10, a 462 locomotive, was built by the Yorkshire Engine Company in 1931 and is in regular service on the line. Cylinder cocks open, Dr. Sin departs Hythe, bound for Dungeness. The line from Hythe to New Romney is double track all the way, allowing north and southbound trains to pass at any point. The operating timetable for the early and late season, however, has the trains passing here at Dymchurch, where the first to arrive from New Romney is number 7, Typhoon. As number 7 departs for Hythe, number 3, Southern Maid, arrives bound for New Romney. Between Dymchurch and New Romney stands the small station at Jeffferston Lane. Dr. Dr. Sin, on a return working from Hythe, approaches New Romney Station. Before a train can depart New Romney to continue its journey to Dungeness, the driver must first collect the tablet from the post by the footbridge. This is his authority to proceed into the single-line section to Romney Sands. Departing New Romney, the line tunnels beneath Littleston Road. Once through the tunnel, the line becomes single track. Romney Sands sees the arrival of number 12 John Southland, one of the railway's 2 diesel locomotives. At Dungeness, the line swings in a large open loop across the banks of pebbles, in sharp contrast to the rolling grasslands north of New Romney. The loop turns the trains through 180 degrees, a unique feature of the line. The station stands in the shadow of the old Dungeness lighthouse, now preserved as a museum. Leaving the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch Railway, we head north to the town of Tenterden, the starting point of the Kent and East Sussex Railway. This 7-mile-long standard gauge line has its depot here at Rolvenden, where we join number 24, William H. Austin, as it undergoes final preparations for the day's work. Prepared, the locomotive departs light engine for Tenterden, climbing the 2-mile-long incline, which has an average gradient of 1 in 50, increasing to 1 in 36 in parts. Locomotive number 24 was built in 1952 to a class known as the austerity saddle tank. These locomotives proved so successful that production continued long after the war, the final one being built in 1964, by which time 464 had been constructed. 5 examples are preserved by the railway, 4 of which are in working order. Number 24, arriving at Tenterden town, passes the signal box that once controlled trains on the Ashford to Canterbury line at Chilham, before being moved and rebuilt on its present site. Originally known as the Rother Valley Railway, the line was constructed under the direction of Lieutenant Colonel Holman F. Stevens and opened on the 26th of March 1900. Tenterden is the headquarters of the railway and boasts many modern facilities, most of which are built on the site of the former goods yard.
What's the time of the next train? 4 o'clock. Thank you. Cheers.
The building, which serves as the station buffet, was originally built in 1921 in Maidstone as a bus station. The railway is a single line to Northiam with passing loops at each station. Before the train can depart from Tenterden, the driver receives a token, giving him authority to enter the single-line section between Tenterden and Rolvenden. Petros is the railway's specially adapted coach designed to accommodate wheelchairs and passengers with walking difficulties. Wittersham Road Station is typical of country branch lines, being 3 miles from the village it serves. Almost immediately, the locomotive encounters a steep bank as the train heads out across gently rolling countryside and onto the Rother levels before reaching the terminus station at Northiam. The station at Northiam was officially reopened by the Duke of Gloucester in 1990, but will perhaps be better known as the station featured in the BBC series Challenge Anneka the previous year. The popular TV presenter Anneka Rice managed to muster help to lay 600 yards of track and restore the station to its former glory. The railway has plans to extend the current line beyond Northiam to the next station at Bodiam, 3.5 miles away. The water tower, in use here at Northiam, originally stood at Upminster. Having run round its train, number 24 prepares to depart once again for Tenterden, giving us the opportunity to sit back and admire one of these proud austerity locomotives in action. Isfield was once a station on the main line from Tunbridge Wells to Lewes. When this section of the line between Uckfield and Lewes was closed, the station quickly fell into disrepair. The story of the Lavender Line, a 1.5-mile-long section of this railway, is now taken up by its owner, David Millam, as he talks to Brian Baker.
Transformation of the station. As we look at the photograph of the area when you took it over, it's unbelievable, the miracle that's taken place. It's a fascinating story. Can you tell us something of it?
Station site came up for auction at a local pub. The idea was to buy it for storage from a timber business. No idea of running a railway or anything connected with it, really. I just thought BR had good solid car parks and it would make good outside storage. We thought, well, we'll come in the next few days and clear the scrub and the trees and see what we've got. And it sort of just snowballed on from there. You done up one building, you said, well, that looks nice. We'll do the waiting rooms, and that looked nice. We'll do the signal box. And once we cleared all the track area out, it looked strange without tracks there. And the wife said to me, well, the best thing you can do is buy some track, lay it through the station area. It'll look more natural. It looks like a dried up riverbed running through the way it is at the moment. So the next thing we did was lay some track, and then of course once you've got the track down, the next thing was, well, it looks a bit funny without anything stood on it, so let's get a steam engine to stand on it. And I think with that statement we really didn't realise what we were getting into. We bought our first steam loco off Bury Transport Museum at Manchester. That was Annie, and Annie arrived exactly 15 years to the day that the last train went through Isfield, which was quite a nice thing. Well, it was nice for everybody, so we had a bit of a celebration over that. But in 14 months we transformed the whole thing from, like I said, a rat-infested heap of rubble into basically what you see today. It was all done in a very short time, and there was no contractors used. It was all done with volunteers and our own people.
You see yourself as being in the entertainment business first and foremost, because the very coach we're in is a bar car. And tonight you're going to be entertaining a lot of people who come and they'll wine and dine. I think that's become your strong point, hasn't it, the wine and dine?
Yes, I think the wine and dine train started about 4 years ago. Again, the wife's idea, so give the wife credit. The idea being, we wanted to create like a mini Orient Express, and that's the idea of the red drapes and the red velvet seats, and because I thought it would be nice for people to come out for a meal and to be treated like they used to be treated in the 20s and 30s, where there was an abundance of waiters, and for a few hours of an evening you were treated like a king, and that was the whole image. I thought that went with the steam train and the luxury coaches, and we thought it would take off, but we didn't realise it was going to take off like it has. I mean, it's become very, very popular indeed.
As well as the very popular wine and dine service, the railway operates family trains every Sunday and bank holiday from March to November, giving rides up and down the line. The Sittingbourne and Kemsley Light Railway was once a part of a sophisticated 2-foot 6-inch gauge industrial network. It operated 24 hours a day, supplying raw materials and clearing finished products from the Sittingbourne paper mill. Only 2 miles of the original system remain, this section being preserved and operated by the Sittingbourne and Kemsley Light Railway Limited and run by volunteers. Every aspect of railway preservation is undertaken by the volunteers, from locomotive restoration to permanent way maintenance work. At Kemsley Down, the first arrival of the day is the diesel works train from Sittingbourne, bringing members who will staff the station and buffet. Triumph, an 062 saddle tank built by Bagnall in 1934, used to haul trainloads of wood pulp and finished paper. Today, the locomotive undertakes the more elegant task of hauling passenger coaches along the 2 miles of track to Sittingbourne. Before departing for its daily duties, the locomotive is engaged in shunting activities, here moving the firefighting wagon through the loop and into a siding. The only passenger access to the line is at Sittingbourne, but the coaches are stabled at Kemsley Down. The first train to depart Kemsley Down, therefore, is an empty stock working to Sittingbourne. Although the line is set in typical industrial surroundings, the first part of the journey to Sittingbourne is across open pasture land alongside Milton Creek. To enable the railway to cross Milton Creek, the line is elevated by the use of a concrete viaduct, which twists and turns through the industrial area, terminating at the very entrance of Sittingbourne Station. Sittingbourne, the locomotive runs round the train in preparation for its first departure to Kemsley Down. The Bluebell Railway, running from Sheffield Park to Horsted Keynes, once formed part of the Lewes to East Grinstead Railway. The original line closed in 1958 after a well-publicised legal battle. There followed the founding of the first standard gauge Railway Preservation Society. The story since then has been one of growth and development into one of the finest preserved railways in the country, still in the control of the volunteers. Brian Baker talked to founder member and superintendent of the line, Bernard Holden, about the society.
I take it that anybody who is watching this programme and would like to join, it's not an exclusive club, is it? If he works hard enough, he can do anything on the railway.
That's right, yeah, that's right, within qualifications.
Yes,
you have to be qualified to do the train operating jobs and the workshop jobs, but then they can work their way up from boy porter to or cleaner right up to driver or fitter, you know. Yes, it's an ongoing industry.
Quite a unique hobby, isn't it?
Oh yes, it is. It's something that goes back, I think, that when something's disappearing, the British characteristic is to save it. The labour, of course, being provided by volunteers, saves us a tremendous expense, and you couldn't run this railway without the volunteers. The industry, steam train preservation wouldn't exist without the voluntary input.
Over the years, the railway has accumulated an impressive collection of rolling stock. In service today is Q-Class number 541, designed by R.E.L. Mansell and built in 1939 at Eastleigh Works by Southern Railways. Sheffield Park Station is now the railway's headquarters. On the same site are the locomotive running sheds and workshops. The station itself is well equipped with modern shops, a buffet and a restaurant. The second locomotive in service today is number 55, Stepney, popularly known as a terrier. This locomotive is synonymous with the railway and popular with the children. The railway is busy working its way northwards towards East Grinstead, and the first section of this extension beyond Horsted Keynes, which runs for approximately 1 mile, is operated by an extension shuttle, which carries passengers to the working area. This service is to be operated today by number 55, Stepney, who departs Sheffield Park light engine to Horsted Keynes. Sheffield Park signal box is situated at platform level and offers the visitor a rare view of signal box operations. Number 541, seen here departing for Horsted Keynes, was scrapped by British Rail in 1964 and spent the next 10 years in Barry Scrapyard, South Wales, before being rescued by a group of enthusiasts based in Gloucestershire, eventually arriving on the Bluebell Railway on the 5th of October 1978. Horsted Keynes was once the junction for the branch line to Haywards Heath and is now the temporary terminus of the Bluebell Railway. The superbly restored station at Horsted Keynes is a credit to the Society's hard work and has been put to extensive use in both film and television period drama programmes. Number 55, Stepney, now coupled to its train, waits patiently at the platform to carry passengers up the extension.
When Stepney comes back, what? We'll have to wait for Stepney.
With Stepney away, number 541 runs round its train in preparation for the next departure. The return of the shuttle sees passengers changing trains via the station subway.